Ken Beaton here from Arca Wealth Academy. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about appreciation. Appreciation is one of the main profit centers in real estate that you can take advantage of. And when I am actually looking at a property to assess the value of the property, the viability, whether I want to buy it or not, I look at three main profit centers: cash flow, appreciation, and principal paydown. We'll talk about principal paydown in the next video, but today what I want to do is focus on appreciation. So what actually is appreciation? Quite simply, appreciation is the difference between the value of the property when you bought it and the value of the property a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever the case may be, some point in the future. That difference in value is appreciation. Now that appreciation can come in a couple different ways. The market itself, real estate, will appreciate in value, generally speaking, on its own, just through market conditions. If you're investing in a good, strong, vibrant market where there's lots of jobs, lots of activity, there's growth in the economy, people are looking to move into that community, they need places to live, that's going to increase the value of your property through increased rents, etc. Therefore, the properties are going to appreciate. Single-family homes, generally speaking, appreciate each and every year as long as they are maintained and taken care of. And that's based upon the economy. Now, it can also happen the reverse. The appreciation can be negative. The values of properties can drop if the economy is suffering, people are moving out of the community, the simple supply and demand, there's no more demand for the properties, therefore the values go down, they lose value. So appreciation can go up or down. Generally speaking, the long-term trend, like across the entire country here over the past 25, 30 years, the average appreciation is between 5 and 6%. But here's the thing. You can take a large city like Toronto or Vancouver and the media will say, well, appreciation's out of control. It's going 10, 15% on an annual basis. The government needs to step in and slow things down because people can't afford it. Well, unfortunately, that may be true in those particular markets. But when you look at the rest of the country, it's not going up 10 or 15%. So when you look at appreciation, you need to be aware that it changes or it's different in each market, and you have to look at each individual market to understand what the appreciation rate is and what's affecting the appreciation in those particular markets. You can even get right down to a micro. I mean, you can take a look in a city or even a small town. For example, the first major property, multi-unit property I bought was in a town of about 10,000 people. That's 15 years ago. It's still only 10,000. Actually, the town has shrunk very, very slightly. It's about 9,800 or something like that. And nothing to be concerned about. But it's not growing. So one wouldn't expect that values of property would increase in that particular market. And for the first 5 or 8 years, they didn't increase. They held their own. My property value increased because I made it more profitable. But based upon the market conditions, the value of the property and the value of single-family homes in the area did not increase until a major industry moved into town. All of a sudden, there was a lot more attention. There was more people moving to that community, which started to drive the prices of homes up, which started to drive the value of my property up as well, just by default. So over the first 8 years, I'm going to say, of the 15, we probably had 0, maybe 1% appreciation. And then over the balance of the 7 years, when I just sold it last year, it averaged out to be about 4%, which means the last 7 years, it's probably gone up 6, 7, 8% in appreciation. So you need to understand the dynamics of the community that you are investing in, the dynamics of the community within a city or an area. So you can pick any community. Doesn't matter what the size, there's going to be good and bad areas in that community. The good areas are going to appreciate and value more than the properties in the bad areas, simply because people want to live in the good areas. Therefore, that forces the value of those properties up through supply and demand. Now, it can also go the opposite. As I mentioned, values can go down. So in places, unfortunately, like the East Coast or depressed markets, mining towns, etc., forestry communities where the market collapses and people start to vacate the communities, supply and demand. All of a sudden, there's nobody there to buy the houses and somebody wants to sell. They have to drop their price down. That's called depreciation. So it goes both ways, and you need to be aware of that. You can also control appreciation a little bit with respect to real estate. You can actually force the appreciation up through improvements. If you take care of your property, maintain it, it's going to become more attractive to your tenants. Therefore, it's going to generate higher rents. Higher rents are going to generate or create a higher value in that property. And it's going to become more lucrative to a potential buyer and be a higher value. So you have the opportunity to control appreciation to a certain extent. And then there's the market conditions that will dictate what the value is going to be, the appreciation or depreciation as well. Now, keep in mind that appreciation is not the same as cash flow. It does not put money in your pocket each and every month. It increases the value of the property. So there's only two ways you're going to benefit from this appreciation. When you either sell the property and you realize a capital gain, which is taxable, but that's fine, or if you tap into the growth in the equity in the property through that appreciation and you refinance the property or take out a line of credit, a second mortgage, etc., and you pull some of that equity out of that property and you reinvest it into another cash flowing property. So that's how you can really grow your portfolio quickly, is if you can not so much sell the properties, because when you sell the property, you got some taxes that you're going to have to pay unless you are investing in the U.S. market where they've got the means of deferring taxes on capital gains if you reinvest it back into another investment property of equal or greater value within a 6-month time period. Otherwise, you do have to pay taxes just like we do here in Canada. So the best way to do it if you want to access that equity growth is through a refinance, a second mortgage, a line of credit, pull some of that equity out to invest in another cash flowing property. The cost of borrowing that money is offset by the profit that you are generating on that other property. And this is called the velocity of money, getting it working for you very, very quickly. So that's the benefit of appreciation. The other thing that even if you do nothing with the growth of equity, it's still extremely important for you to realize this appreciation, because in the eyes of the bank, they want to see, well, first of all, they don't care what your high school marks were, or whether you graduated from college or university with degrees. They don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or a plumber, or a street sweeper. They don't care about any of that. What they are concerned about is, what is your financial IQ? Are you able to manage money? Do you have a good net worth? Do you have an excellent credit score? If you have those things, then they're interested in doing business with you. So managing your appreciation, investing in a market that will appreciate, is to your benefit, because it will grow your net worth, and in the eyes of the bank, make you a much more reputable investor, somebody worthy of working with from the perspective of the bank. And they'll definitely want to do business with you, because they're going to view you as a very smart business person. So that's the benefits of appreciation and how it works, and why you want to invest in good, not only cash flowing properties, but properties that have the opportunity to increase in value through appreciation. So that's it for today. Remember, if you like what you hear, please hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe so that as more videos come out, you will be notified about these videos. And if you find value to these, really appreciate the feedback and the comments, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. So take care.